Hello everyone and welcome to something a little bit different from what we have been doing lately. Jumping through the starting screens here until we get into... Come on. Give me 1 second to get this loaded up. There we go. And then I just want to actually, now I think about it, my camera should probably be moved somewhere like right... Down here is my active item. Bottom middle, I guess. Probably be best. So yeah, this is Delver's Drop, which I am sure you may have heard about before. This is a game being, or in development by Pixelscopic, who had a Kickstarter for it a while back. Our goal here, I know, this is currently still in alpha development. It is certainly nowhere near completion. But there was just recently a big update which implemented the basics of the weapon system. So for those of you who aren't aware, in the earlier versions of this alpha, which I've done a couple of videos on, there have been a lot of... What am I looking for here? There have been kind of set items. This one lets us, or this one gives us the first view of the eventual long-term weapon system, which is that you're going to have different types of weapons for different classes that have infinite uses if they align with your class, and limited uses if they are meant for another class. So let's break some crates here and such and see if we can find anything. There's some armor there that I would rather not pick up before the time has come. But yeah, so you're going to have the ability to, also they have added that you can pick up items and I believe throw them, although I forget how to do that offhand. Ooh, there's one item. I accidentally picked up some armor as well. But yeah, at the moment the weapons are kind of, I believe they are approaching the... I believe they have all types of weapons if I recall correctly, but not all the individual weapons. And then from there, there are going to be prefixes and suffixes that are going to further modify weapons. So all in all, with all the different randomly generated possibilities, they're going to end up being, I think, I think their plan is around 1,000 base weapons, and then all of those with the prefix and suffix modifiers. So there's going to be a whole lot to this game in terms of loot when the time comes. Ouch. Ghost. Eat my baffle droughts. Why am I not doing anything? I have not actually played as though. That one quick. Change of plans. Let's go with the Beastkeeper over here, because he has the survivability due to having this whip as his item, which is not necessarily the highest damage item, but it is certainly a very good range, and a very decent range and knockback item. So yeah, the weapon system is in its infancy right now, but everything is in place for it to be completed. It's just a matter of getting all the items loaded in, getting all the prefixes, suffixes leveled in. And right now their focus is they're actually going to be redoing some of the, or making a massive change to dungeon generation. So that's kind of their focus toward the next build, from what I understand. But at the moment, we're going to mess around with this. I should say that this is, obviously, as I mentioned, a pre-release game. And there are definitely some bugs in it right now. I know that in the time I spent with it, I've come across at least 1 or 2 hard crashes this build. So if we do a hard crash, just know that it's because of the fact that it is a pre-release and not necessarily because of anything else. So we can switch to other weapons. Like right now we have this dagger called the Card. The thing to know about the alternate weapons is that, oh god, I didn't even realize that things were coming at me. I thought this was the room I had already been in. But yeah, as you can tell, the other weapons, every time I hit an enemy, I'm losing that number below it. And when that runs out, the weapon breaks. So that's what I mean by you do have a benefit to sticking with your class's weapon. The Beastkeeper is meant to use a whip, so as you can tell, he has that little dash down there in the corner. That means that he has infinite use of that item. No whip will break on the Beastkeeper, but if he uses that dagger, then every hit that he does to an enemy is going to slowly drain its... Whoa! What are you? Just a turret, I guess. Yeah, I had seen turrets before, but I just hadn't seen them from that distance or anything in this build. Ooh. The ghosts are real mean. You can also charge your attack, by the way. That's one thing I haven't mentioned. So if I hold up my attack key, then I can charge my attack for extra damage. Critical. But yeah, so at the moment this is in its very early stages. It has been in development for a while, but they have certainly tried to rework things to make them the best they possibly can. And it's certainly working out. The game is shaping up nicely. You can actually get into this from the... you can purchase it on their webpage from the Humble store, and I believe that gives you automatic access to the current build. Oh my god, what is going on with that thing? Stop that. But yeah, you can get access to the current build through Humble. Why are you such a jerk, you spiky ball? Oh god. Just made it worse. I just wanted to stop. But yeah, oh god, it's still going. This thing is evil. What was I just getting at? Oh yeah, so being pre-release, there are certainly some bugs you're gonna run into. And it has been in development a while. You guys probably remember, at least back at the Kickstarter, when that was being done. But it is shaping up nicely. The current build is accessible if you pre-purchase through Humble, which is pretty much this zone, which consists of a few layers. The hard crash I got last was after 2 floors. I don't know if that's a consistent thing where after 2 floors it's crashing every time, or if it's just a occasional glitch that happened to me at that point. I'm not entirely sure on that. But yeah, you can play around in here, experience some of the enemy types, the really phenomenal art that's in the game so far, and get a feel for the combat and everything. In the next step, like I said, they're going to be working on reworking dungeon generation a bit, which will eventually lead to the implementation of the remaining zones. This is going to turn into quite a long-term game in terms of how much there is. So if you like the idea of what you're seeing, if you like the idea of what you're seeing, I would definitely recommend picking it up and giving it a shot. Right now you're not going to get the most playtime out of it, but long-term, once the updates hit and it gets to the later versions, when they have all the different zones in place and everything, it'll certainly be a worthwhile experience. What is that? Stiletto. What do you do, Stiletto? Whoops, I did not mean to drop you. You're a sword, right? Oh, you're a dagger that spams very quickly. Oops. No, not throw. Still getting used to the controls of this build. I haven't messed around with it too much yet. And this is kind of one of the situations where an early access game I don't want to overplay. Just because there is low enough amounts of content available right now, where I do kind of feel like if I burn myself out on the combat mechanics and everything, it'll be a little bit hard to get going into the later version. So that's why I don't do videos on this too consistently, is just the fear of burning myself out before the later areas are even added. But this is something I really enjoy every time I play it. It's definitely something worth... Oh my god. What have I done? I want to do that. Okay, we're back to actual full health now. So if you don't know, there is a lot of physics stuff in Delver's Drop as well. There are some pipes that you can break open that'll cause wind to shoot out. Stop dropping things! I'm used to playing Our Darker Purpose and I'm trying to hit space to roll, and that is causing me to drop things. No! Spike, go away! Isn't this room evil enough with the candle? Oh, damn you, spiky thing. I wish there was a way to at least, like, stop those things instead of just them bouncing around forever. Because as it stands, it's kind of hard to deal with rooms while those spikes are just uncontrollably running around and trying to kill you. But yeah, this is a very, very good base for the game. It's going to shape up into something very good long term, especially once the other zones are added in. Right now it's kind of closer to what in the final version will be called Endless Drop Mode, which is essentially what, if you saw videos during the Kickstarter, that's what you were looking at. If you've seen videos since then, you've probably seen more recent builds, but the Kickstarter video was a version of Endless Drop, which is a mode where you just kind of keep going down until you die, or yeah, pretty much until you die. But that was in place back then. It will be back in the final version as well. But one thing that you've got to remember is that right now it's kind of like that. There is no real goal to the game right now. It's just kind of survive until you can't go on anymore. And I believe even without the crashes, there is kind of a limit set on how far you can go before the before the run comes to a halt. We got two of these tilters. What do you do? You're a mage weapon, I can tell. Oops. No! Oh, maybe you're a mace, not a mage weapon. I've got nothing against maces. Let's play around with this one for a little bit. Oh my god, spikes, go away! So as you can see, there are two different types of rats in this room. One type is your plague rat, the other type, or I forget the exact term used for it, but these ones are like plague rats. When you kill them, they are going to explode with their disease, which is going to cause them to damage everything around them, yourself included, if you are so unlucky. And then the other ones are just regular rats that are going to die on hit, as would be expected. Let's keep heading up here. We're going to look for the switch to open up the next floor of the drop. Hopefully get some armor back in this room, although it doesn't seem that way. And that one weapon broke, so we can toss that out. And then we can switch over, and I'm going to keep using it. Just use this other one. And there's an explosive box. I would like to maybe kill that from here. Can I? Not quite. Maybe from just a little bit closer. Yes. So this game has a very, very good engine. Just to point that out. A lot of things in this game are physics-based. There's going to be puzzles, there's going to be a lot of use of that physics engine in it. The bats, if you can't tell, occasionally when we hit them, they are actually dropping downwards. There is a actual in-game Z-axis, so when I hit the bats I can actually knock them out of the sky, which can be used to knock them into pits. Instead of dealing with killing them hit by hit, you can, if aimed right, knock them into pits, or knock them onto traps they would otherwise normally fly over. But yeah, the engine in this game is very, very well made. It's a custom engine they made for the game, and it works really well. Which is part of the reason I can't wait to see where this goes from here, and see how the game ends up, because that's always a good start when it's got something that even at this basic stage is still so much fun and still has an engine that has a lot of potential. God, spiky orb thingies. Let's go down this way. What did you just drop? Nothing, I guess. We're gonna switch back to a mace for now. There's an explosive barrel there I didn't see. I do apologize, it seems like recording this is getting me some frame rate issues I haven't run into outside while recording Our Darker Purpose lately. That's a matter of my laptop, not a matter of the game. Recording can be a pain sometimes on this thing. I keep trying to figure out a way to improve its abilities, but there are just some things where, for whatever reason, it has gotten worse at handling them. Ooh, we got a hammer. Of course, we also have the opening of the drop here, so we can easily drop down. Now, the game might crash at the end of this floor, depending on if this is a consistent thing or a occasional thing. So, if the screen goes black, that's why. By the way, you can't charge an attack and walk through a door. If we're charging an attack, we can't go through the door. So you do have to actually deal with the rooms on a room-to-room basis. You can't charge them up ahead of time. Let's drop down, and it loaded up fine. Good. Wasting all of my hits with this hammer to open things up. That's a big shield. Or this is a better sword. I think it's the same sword actually, yes. Oh, no, I want to keep that one. Throw that one. Equip the whip for now. See, I think we're just gonna go on to maybe the end of this one more floor here. What are you? Spur blade. Why not check it out a little bit? That has a very high attack rate. But yeah, I think we're gonna go on to the end of the current floor, whether we survive or not. See what happens. And then we will probably be calling this video quits. Because like I said, I do like showing off the new weapon, the new weapons and everything. But all things considered, there's not a whole lot to be shown off in the current builds. Just because they are at that early stage where most of the content isn't in the game yet. As much as there is stuff to show off, there's also not enough where I feel like, you know, sitting there and doing a couple hours of videos on it is necessarily the best way to handle things for my way of doing things. I know if you are interested in this game, Vasayid, oh, that killed me real quick. Vasayid, 830 to Awesome, is doing a very, very in-depth series on this, where he's, you know, taking the time to show off what can be done in the physics engine experiment with everything, do detailed analysis of everything, for that, yeah, playing a lot of this game is a really, really good choice. And I've checked out some of his videos, and he has gone very, very in-depth in a way that I probably will not choose to do during this pre-release. Me personally, as I said, I don't want to risk burning myself out on the game before it's released. So I'm going to stick to kind of shorter content on it. You know, just kind of get the basics done. Show off what's new in the builds, talk about the game and where it's progressing, that kind of stuff. Once it's released, obviously I'm going to have a series on it. I know that for a fact, unless something horrible happens between now and then. But for the pre-release right now, I feel like my goal is mostly just to kind of update on the builds, encourage you to check the game out if you're interested, and then kind of move on from there. Regardless, I will put a link to Vasey's channel in the description if you want to go check him out, see the content that he's doing, which, as I mentioned, is much more experienced and much more thorough than what I've got on this game. Other than that, thank you guys as always for watching. I hope you have enjoyed the episode. We will see more of this game. I don't know if I'll show off this current build a bit more. Probably will. Or if we'll hold off until next build comes out. But either way, there will definitely be more of this game coming up in the future. Thank you guys for watching as always. Have a good one, and I will see you next time. Take care, everyone. Later.